Hi everyone. I just wanted to touch base here at the about midway through week 3 and go over a few things that we have going on. Touch base on what the discussion posts are all about and the final the essay draft that we're working on, the peer review and such, and just offer a couple of tips. I'm going to try to keep it to 5 minutes and under this time, so I'm going to try very conscientiously not to wander off topic too much. And there aren't any dogs or children around today. I don't know if you saw the video that's been making the rounds all day of the BBC reporter reporting on South Korea, and then his kids come in the room behind him while he's on Skype. I totally can feel that, although can feel his pain. Luckily, we're not the BBC here, so my kids and animals intrusions have a pretty limited audience. But anyway, I got a kick out of it. All right, so discussion 1 this week. I know we're already past Thursday, but many of you maybe still need to work on that. Remember that this is about discussing the different genre types and what the qualities and characteristics are of each genre type. And for this, since you're going to be drawing on the textbook, you're going to want to incorporate in-text citation and references. That's what I'll be looking for as you discuss this. And in addition to correctly describing the genre types and addressing the content, I'm going to be looking for, okay, is this person able to pull in citations from the source material, because that's really important. And I'll talk a little bit about what that'll look like in a second. But that's discussion 1. Discussion 2 is a shortened draft of your final essay for peer review. And this is an essential academic skill that will give you some practice critiquing others' work and also just being on the receiving end of some critiques as well. And I do want to encourage everyone to please be respectful in your critiques of others' work. It's important to bear in mind that constructive criticism is the way to go. And if you have feedback for somebody, frame it positively. Don't necessarily have to be disrespectful or cut somebody down, even if you're trying to help them improve their work. So some things to bear in mind, just etiquette-wise. But this is a very important process, and part and parcel with that will be the assignment this week. So the week 3 discussion 2 is kind of where you get your feedback from your peers on how your final narrative essay is progressing, and your assignment for this week is where you'll get my feedback on that. The journal entry for this week is about paraphrasing. So this is kind of part and parcel, again, I've just used that phrase twice in like 30 seconds, is of a piece with the draft. Oh, I'm sorry, no, of discussion 1, because in discussion 1, where I'm going to be looking for you pulling that in-text citation, this journal entry is specifically and explicitly about doing that same work. So in this week, they're really trying to get you to focus on the need and the importance of being able to pull in outside source material and cite it correctly, and then also include reference entries, because you'll be wanting to do that in discussion 1 and your journal entry for the week. So some things to bear in mind. And then, as I mentioned, the assignment is also a shortened version of your final draft, or your final essay. The word requirement is 550 words with a clear thesis statement, so that's what I'm going to be looking for, ensuring that you met that minimum length requirement and that you've got some kind of a thesis statement there. It doesn't have to be perfect, we can work on it, but something there that will let the reader know what your paper is about and what information will come. Okay, so moving on to grammar stuff. I want to work more a little bit just briefly on comma splices. This has been the most prevalent issue that I've seen in the class aggregately. So it's really an area that I'd like to try to raise everybody up a level from as much as I can. So I made a little chart here. Alright, so comma splices. A comma splice occurs when you've got too many ideas crammed into a sentence without enough punctuation in the proper place. And excuse my handwriting, please, but take, for example, this sentence here. I took my time. I knew it would be... No, I knew I had hours before my plane departed. Okay, why is it wrong? Because there's only a comma right there, and really, you've got 2 sequences of all the elements of a sentence, the subject, verb, plus predicate. You've got I, subject, verb, took, and then the rest, my time. And then you've got it again down here. So that's essentially 2 sentences, or 2 complete thoughts. And as such, they need something stronger to separate them than just a comma. And commas only work within one complete thought, or one independent clause. So the way you can fix it is you can keep the comma. but then throw because after it. I took my time because I knew I had hours before my plane departed. Or you can take away the comma and replace it with a semicolon, which kind of acts like, as it sort of implies, it's a stronger comma, but not quite a period. Semicolon is halfway between a comma and a period. It's used to separate two independent clauses that are nonetheless closely related. So the second sentence here is related to the first. That's why maybe if I had written an error, it felt right to have that comma there, because it was like two things really close together. But because we've got that subject-verb-predicate sequence twice, it needs something stronger. You can go with a semicolon. Or you can go full stop with a period. Either of those work, but what you shouldn't do is just rely on one comma to separate entire, complete thoughts. So whenever you're writing a sentence, ask yourself, how many subject-verb combos do I have going on here? And if I've got more than one, am I separating them correctly with a comma and a conjunction, or a semicolon, or a period? All right, we're already at 6 minutes, so there goes my 5-minute mark thing. All right. Citation. This is what your in-text citation should look like when you're citing the text, say in discussion 1, or for the journal entry. You got Connell and Soul, comma, publication year, which I think is 2013, although I'll be honest, I wrote that down off the top of my head, so that might not be the exact year, but I think it is. And then one period as your end punctuation after the whole thing. Now notice here, this is my crappy ampersand. And that's that weird, funky-looking mark that looks like into the General Mills symbol or something like that. It means and excuse me, and it goes inside of your in-text citation like that when you've got two authors that you're quoting. So, parentheses, Connell and Soul, ampersand, comma, 2013, and parentheses, period. You don't need any other period before this, and whatever sentence came before this. You only need one piece of end punctuation right here at the end. Okay. And now, final essay. Here is a way to sort of think about that final essay. Final essay has to be 1,000 words. That's about 250 to 300 words a page, give or take. So I broke it down in a little bit of simple calculus that I like to do that helps me keep papers organized when I'm writing them. So assume you've got 4 pages, and you've got, let's say you're going to do a half a page intro. It's going to take about a half a page to write 4 good sentences that end in one clear thesis statement. Then think of your conclusion as a full conclusion with a closure will be about another half a page. So that leaves you with 3 pages to work with. Now based on that, you can take that and make 3 subtopics out of it for your thesis. So in the video I posted last week in my fictitious essay that I was writing, it was about learning to play the guitar. And I had 3 subtopics, and that was my life before the accident itself, and then learning to play the guitar afterwards. And so that's what I would do here. I would put life before the accident, write about it for a page, life after, the accident rather, and then life after the accident as I learned the guitar. And the thesis statement to all of this would be something along the lines of, although I couldn't know it at the time, falling off of a roof and then learning to play the guitar actually ended up being an amazing thing for me. And in that thesis statement, I've let you, the reader, know that we're going to be talking about this life-changing event, and that the order the information is going to come is going to be my life before the event, and then afterwards. So that's one way that you can sequence things and break it down so that you're not simply just staring at a blank screen waiting for that inspiration to hit you, because that's not what you want to do in academic writing. It can be great for fiction writing, but in academic writing and professional writing, it's best if you plan out what you're going to do, and much like building a house, work from the outside in. Build the framework, outline. You free write, then you outline, you put it together piece by piece, you draft, you revise and edit, and you draft, and then finally, the house is done, and it works great. You don't go building a house just grabbing your material and starting to build because you might not know what you come up with. And so it's a similar process when writing academically. Okay, well, that's about everything I wanted to hit, and I'm way over the mark in terms of time. Thanks if you've bared with me this long. If you have borne with me, I think it's if you have borne with me this long. Thanks. And last but not least, I'm always here to help. Please don't forget that. Please don't hesitate to give me a call, shoot me an email, I'm going to say it so many times that you're going to think that it's like all I know how to say, or that I have amnesia and I forget that I'm saying it, but I'm not. I'm really just trying to drill it into your collective heads that I'm here to help, and I'm not just some remote person who should be your last resort when you've got questions about this stuff. You know, I know we've got the Writing Center. They're great. We've got tutors. We've got other resources too, but I'm your teacher, and it's my job. I'm the guy. I'm your main guy, and I want to be your main go-to guy for any information, any questions, any issues that we can have. It's really up to you how much you want to take advantage of the expertise that I can offer you, because I'm happy to work with you as much as you want. Give me a call whenever, and if I'm here and I can grab it, I'll take it, and if I miss it, I'll call you back. But we can have multiple phone chats. You can squeeze my brain for as much English and composition expertise as you possibly want between now and the end of the course and beyond. I'm happy to keep looking at papers for everybody even after this course is ended, and I'll reiterate that later. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks. Have a great weekend, guys, and again, let me know how I can help.